Never beg for love. Never beg for attention. Never beg for mercy. This is a principle that must be understood by every man. The moment you start begging for things, you lose all value. You are then seen as a nobody, someone who isn't worthy of things, and thus will be treated accordingly. A man once said, "I would rather die than beg," because begging implies that we are worthless, shows that we have no value, and are less than human. A man should never beg for anything in his life, because it reduces us to nothing. The question is, what does it mean to beg? To beg means to plead or solicit with an insistent or even desperate request. When we beg for something, we basically saying we do and feel that we worthy enough to just ask for what we want. Instead, we have to insist on it. We have to annoy the other person until they give in and give us what we want. And this is where the problem lies. You may think you're getting what you want, but what you're really doing is showing others how pathetic you are. You are showing them that you are so desperate that you have to humiliate yourself in order to get what you want. And that is not attractive. That is not masculine. That is not something that will make you stand out from other men. On the contrary, it makes you seem weak, pathetic, and desperate. And these are things that women find unattractive in a man. Men who beg for attention are seen as being needy and insecure. They are seen as men who cannot handle their emotions and who need constant reassurance from others. These are men who are not confident in themselves and who need others to validate their worth. But if you are a man who stands firm, who doesn't need anyone's permission to do what he wants to do, who doesn't need anyone's approval to feel good about himself, then you are a man who commands respect and admiration from others. Now let me tell you a story about a crow that will help you understand what it means to never beg for love. Once upon a time, there was a hunter who went into the forest to hunt birds. He had a shotgun, and he was looking for a nice bird to shoot. As he walked through the forest, he saw a crow sitting on a tree. The crow was beautiful, and the hunter wanted to shoot it. So he raised his gun and pulled the trigger. But the bullet missed the crow and hit the tree beside it. The crow was scared at first, but then it started to laugh. It laughed and laughed until the hunter couldn't take it anymore. "Why are you laughing?" he asked the crow. "Because you missed," said the crow. "You can't shoot me if you can't hit me." The hunter got angry and raised his gun again. "That's enough of that," he said. "This time I won't miss." But before he could pull the trigger, the crow spoke up. "Wait," it said. "If I let you shoot me, will you give me a proper burial?" The hunter was taken aback. He hadn't expected the crow to ask for such a thing, but he agreed. "Of course I'll give you a proper burial," he said. And with that, the crow closed its eyes and let the hunter shoot it. After the hunter had shot the crow, he kept his word and gave the bird a proper burial. He dug a hole in the ground and buried the crow with respect. As he was doing this, he couldn't help but admire the crow's courage. It had faced death without fear, and it even made a last-minute attempt to save itself. The hunter felt as though he had learned something from the crow. From that day on, he never begged for mercy when he hunted again. He faced each animal with courage, knowing that it was up to him to decide whether or not he would survive. And that is what it means to never beg for love. It means to face whatever comes your way with courage and dignity. Don't beg for mercy. Don't beg for forgiveness. Stand up and fight for what you believe in, even if the odds are stacked against you. Most importantly, don't beg for love. Love is something that must be earned, and it is not given freely. Show the world how worthy you are of love, and it will come to you. There was once a boy who liked a girl very much. He thought she was beautiful inside and out, and he wanted to be with her more than anything else in the world. But the girl didn't feel the same way about him. She didn't like him at all, and she made it clear that she never wanted to see him again. The boy was devastated, but he wasn't about to give up. He began to beg the girl for another chance, but she only laughed at him and told him to get lost. He tried everything he could think of to win her back, but nothing worked. She hated him and she wouldn't even look at him. The boy was heartbroken, and he felt like his life was over. But then he met a wise old man who told him that he needed to learn the art of detachment. The old man explained that the boy's love for the girl was so strong that it was blinding him and making him do things he didn't want to do. He was begging the girl for love, but in doing so, he was only pushing her away further. The old man advised the boy to let go of his attachment to the girl and to focus on himself instead. He told him to become the best version of himself possible and to stop trying to control the outcome. The boy took the old man's advice to heart and began to work on himself. He began to read books and learn new skills. And most importantly, he stopped begging for the girl's love. Years went by, and the boy became a man. Now, he was no longer the same needy, desperate young man he once was. He was confident, successful, and happy. And one day, much to his surprise, the girl from his past showed up at his door. She was shocked at how much he had changed, and she could unhelp but fall in love with the man he had become. The girl asked the man to take her back, and he could have easily said yes. After all, she was the girl of his dreams, and he had loved her for so long. But he knew that their relationship would never work out. She had rejected him countless times in the past, and he was about to let his guard down again. The man told the girl that he didn't love her anymore, and that she needed to move on with her life. He had learned the hard way that love isn't something you beg for, something that happens to you when you least expect it. And he didn't want to waste any more time begging for something that wasn't meant to be. The girl was heartbroken when she heard the man's words, but she knew that he was right. She had wasted enough time begging for his love, and it was time to move on. With that, she turned around and left. And that is what it means to never beg for love. It means to let go of the past and focus on the present. Don't dwell on what could have been. Focus on what is and make the most of it. So remember, brothers, never beg for love, never beg for attention, never beg for mercy. Do not reduce yourself to nothing. And always keep in mind that you are worthy of love and respect.